French fries are one of the few things I can truly say are usually better when you eat them at restaurants versus making them at home. But today I think I finally cracked the code. I'm gonna show you guys how to make the most delicious, crispy French fries right from the comfort of your own home. Two different ways. Meet me in the kitchen, let's make it happen. All right guys, let's talk potatoes. We are gonna use russet potatoes because they have a low moisture content and high starch. We're gonna prep these by cutting the end pieces off. That way we have a nice even surface to work with. We're gonna peel them, get them nice and clean. And one of the more important things about this recipe is you want them to be cut into equal sized pieces. That's important because you want them to cook at the same rate. If you have large pieces with small pieces, obviously the smaller pieces are gonna cook faster and you're gonna have an inconsistent end product. And we wanna avoid that at all costs. So this is a bit of a tedious process, but once you get through about halfway, you can vacuum seal these fries and freeze them, and then you can have French fries anytime you want to. Potato peeler. Get them nice and peeled and clean, and then we'll go ahead and cut them into our desired size. For me, I like a thinner, not quite shoestring, but borderline shoestring thickness on the French fries. They're gonna get a little bit crispier that way. So, as promised, we have two different methods today. We're gonna deep fry these, which in my opinion renders the absolute crispiest French fry. We're also gonna air fry these for a little bit healthier spin. Still very crispy and a little bit healthier. So two different ways, similar techniques all the way through. Right now it's time to go ahead and prep the potatoes by chopping them into our desired thickness and then getting them clean. For that, what I like to do is basically cut them in half, and then cut them in half again, and then use this piece as our guide. So got a straight edge here, and we're gonna cut and then cut that in half again, and that is the desired size that I'm going for on my fries. Somewhere in between shoestring and straight cut is my preference. And this episode is sponsored by laundry sauce. Laundry is one of those things I used to rush through, but this honestly changed everything for me. The first thing you notice is the scent, which I'm huge on. It smells like high-end fragrances, not the standard detergent. It actually makes your clothes and your space smell really good. I love how simple it is. The pods are pre-measured, so there's no guessing. They work in HE machines, and they still hit hard when it comes to cleaning. There's a powerful bioenzyme blend in here, so stains come out and fabrics feel fresh without being harsh. Another big plus for me is what's not in it. No parabens, no phosphates, dyes, or Prop 65 chemicals, and the packaging is eco-friendly, paper made from recycled materials, which I super appreciate. I've also been using the dryer sheets and the in-wash scent boosters, and the fragrance actually lasts without being super overpowerful. It makes everyday laundry feel a little bit more elevated. And I work in kitchens around food a whole lot, so I'm big on making sure my clothes smell good. If you want laundry that smells incredible, cleans well, and fits naturally into your routine, check out Laundry Sauce. It's one of those small upgrades that actually make a huge difference. That's right, guys. Check out Laundry Sauce and use the code MrMakeItHappen15 to save 15% off and enjoy that luxurious laundry day feeling. All right, guys, so I guess the question is, what makes a good French fry? For me, it's a crispy exterior of the French fry and a soft potatoey interior. The next question is, how do we achieve that? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean the French fries first and foremost until the water runs clear, and then get them in some super cold ice water. Let them soak for 15 to 20 minutes. This step right here pulls off excess starch on the exterior of the fry, which is gonna help them get nice and crispy. Up until this point, both recipes are exactly the same for the deep fryer or the air fryer. You're gonna let them soak in ice water. The next step after this, things are gonna start getting a little bit different. For the air fryer recipe, we're gonna blanch the potatoes in boiling water until they get nice and tender. Then we're gonna shock them in some cold water to stop the cooking process and get them super dry. Now for the deep fried recipe, we're doing the same exact thing, except we're not using water. We're gonna blanch them in oil, 300-degree oil to be exact. A few minutes until they get nice and tender, then we're gonna remove them from that oil, cool them completely, and then deep fry them again. All right, guys, so after your potatoes soak in ice water for 15 to 20 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and blanch them in some boiling water, add a little salt to the water, add the French fries on in there, and give them a good, 4, maybe 5 minutes max. depending on the thickness. If they're thicker, they're probably closer to 5 minutes. If they're real thin, 3 to 4 minutes should get the job done. You want them to be nice and tender when they come out of here. Once they come out of the boiling water, they're going into cold water just to shock them and stop the cooking process. That way they don't overcook. Then from that cold water to some paper towels and get them as dry as possible. All right, guys, so for the deep fried version, we're to go ahead and take them straight from the cold water to the paper towels, get them as dry as possible. Then we're gonna get our oil up to 300 degrees and blanch them in that oil for 3 to 5 minutes. Remove them from the oil, let them cool completely on a wire rack so they can drain and air dry, come to room temperature at least. You can even pop them in the fridge or the freezer at that point, and then get the temperature up to 375 to 400 and flash fry them until they're golden brown and crispy. All right, people, it's time to get these fries in the air fryer. We're gonna go ahead and spray the air fryer with some olive oil spray. Get the fries in there, then pop them in the air fryer at 400 to 425, depending on what your settings are on your particular air fryer that you have at home. One thing that I will say, though, is you want to make sure that you don't overcrowd the fries. You want air to circulate around them. That's how they get crispy. If they're too jumbled up and bunched together, you run the risk of having soggier fries than you want. So we're going to go ahead and load this bad boy up. And a quick reminder, you can find this recipe and all of my recipes at MrMakeItHappen.com. All right, people, there you have it. Perfectly cooked French fries right from the comfort of your own home. 2 different ways. We got air fried right here. We got deep fried right here. Let's go ahead and get in there for the taste test. Before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. Quick reminder, guys, this recipe and all of my recipes be found at MrMakeItHappen.com. Without further ado, all right, guys, air fried French fries, nice and thin, crispy, salty. What more can you ask for? Oh, healthier. Not, a ton of oil being used. Save you some calories. It's a good fry. Next up, the crispy, deep fried fries. Let's see what we got. Much more tender. They actually taste a little sweeter too somehow. I don't know what the science is behind that. But those are great. More flavor. I mean, they're better. I would say that the air fry ones might be a little crispier somehow. Can't go wrong with either recipe. I'm gonna end up eating this whole plate. Next time you got a craving for some fries, give this recipe a try. After you blanch them and cool them, you can vacuum seal and freeze them. You can have French fries anytime you want, which in my house is all the time.